Welcome. Thanks for coming. So yeah, this is about breaking artists. Myself and Tom are from a company called Your Army. We're a global promotions company. And yeah, that's some of our roster there. We also do a lot of sort of other acts and other genres, especially our radio and TV departments. But we're not here to talk about that. So come on, let's move on. Last year we did a mentorship program, didn't we?
Yeah, last year we did a mentorship program. Part of it was that artists who attended the BDME were able to send us music. We went through them, we figured out some interesting ones, some people we wanted to work with. And yeah, one of the prizes was to be mentored by us for the year. Yeah, and we have one of those winners with us today, Camerøn, who's sitting to me right. Yeah, and it's been a fun year. We've done a lot of great work. We've really put some stuff in. Camerøn's been sending some amazing music, which is really important. And yeah, so we really love building and breaking new acts. It's what we do at Your Army. It's what we've always done, making a difference, like helping artists achieve their dreams. And yeah, I feel we've done a good job with Camerøn. More to do. It's only been 1 year. But yeah, we're going to show you a little bit about what we've learned, about what Camerøn has learned, hopefully. And yeah, and then hopefully that gives you some ideas on how to break an artist. Oh yeah, and people can ask questions, can't they? So.
You can ask questions. Feel free. Interrupt us. We don't care. So yeah, a lot of the things that we thought we see that works with artists is making connections. So yeah, and A&R. So good A&R. I mean, good A&R is kind of obvious, I guess, but it's just about encouraging people to find their own sound. But what we did, especially for Camerøn, was track choice, arrangements. So went through the demos and decided which tracks maybe would be good for a self-release and which tracks we would aim for a Tastemaker label release. Which tracks, I mean, we always, because we come from a kind of promotional angle, we always like tracks that maybe are really good for the scene that you've got, but maybe they can come out of that scene as well and get played by other DJs out of your scene. So we always love to hear records that maybe, yes, your scene can play, but maybe people out of your scene can play them as well. So it's really fun when you're a promoter and you get one of those kind of tracks and you can really get stuck in and get loads of different types of DJs playing your records. So yeah, that's something we did for Camerøn. And then making connections in the real world as well. So we always encourage our artists to do that. Go to events, obviously, and you can do it via social channels as well. Yeah, I mean, what Camerøn and what we can do as Your Army and what we wanted to do with Camerøn is use our networks and use our connections to get his music played by other people through DJ promotion.
Yeah, so I mean, as James just said, like, networks and dance music, they're unbelievably important. Like, they shape everything. If you have an artist supporting your record, playing it out, it's like a pure form of recommendation. Like, if Dixon plays your record, everyone who follows Dixon is going to be seeing what he's playing. And I suppose one of the core things we do at Your Army is DJ promo. We've done it for a long, long time. Started doing it with acetate records 15 years ago. Obviously now it's all digital, but we have a lot of personal connections we've built over the years. DJs trust us to give them new, upcoming, unreleased music. And yeah, I'd say their influences in the dance world. So yeah, that's one of the sort of biggest, most important things I would say in dance music to do. And it's something we did with Camerøn's music. So over the last year, we've really spent a lot of time giving DJs, influential DJs, people who can make a difference to him as an artist, get his music, play it out, support him. So some amazing people getting back. Obviously some people who naturally I'd want to get played. People like De Capo and Kuasa. Through to people like Masano, Agents of Time, like important DJs in that scene, and making sure they're playing it out, playing it in live streams, playing it in clubs, adding it to their playlist. It all makes a really, really big difference. And I suppose on the side of that, and we'll go on to it a little bit in a minute, one of the most important things we kind of wanted to do was to get something from that DJ promotion. Like, where do we go from the next step? Again, like, when a DJ is playing out your record, like, that's great, but how do you go on from that? I mean, obviously I would say always, like, contact them. We'll speak about this more later, but yeah, contact them, DM them, go to their gigs, meet them. But yeah, also, if an artist is playing your record out, then there's a chance for you to maybe get released on their label, play gigs for them. So it's one of the things we focused on. We went through all the artists who were supporting Camerøn's music. There was a guy called Sasha Currie, so he plays quite a lot of Afterlife parties, and he's got a label. So we spoke to him. He's going to be putting one of Camerøn's records out this year. We're going to do some promotion on it to help it out a lot, but he's going to do a remix. He's getting a remix in from someone. Yeah, Sobek's going to do a remix as well. But that record label's doing really well on Beatport. He's playing the records out at Afterlife parties, getting content. So it's making forward steps and using those networks to make a difference. So yeah, it's going to be out this summer. So yeah,
super exciting.
Looking forward to it.
So these are some of the other stuff that DJ promotion can do. Market research, I think, is really important for people. Which records are working, which ones aren't. I actually think that negative feedback can be, really good to take on board as well as positive feedback. But also simple things like if a record's going off in Italy, if it's getting loads of plays by Italian DJs, then what can we do in Italy? Can we do some digital marketing in Italy? Can we do some radio, more radio promo in Italy? A lot of the best marketing people that I know, if there's a little something happening in one territory, they'll jump on it and make sure that they're maximizing what's happening in that one territory. So yeah, I would always, if something's happening and you're getting some action somewhere, then what else can we do in that territory? So it provides really good market research for people. And obviously one of the most important things now, especially now in the days of TikTok and stuff, is videos of DJs playing the records. So yeah, obviously during lockdown that became really important for people, and we were able to get videos of DJs playing the records. So yeah, that's really important. In fact, we met with TikTok last week in the head office, and they said now actually online virality on TikTok actually comes more from the artists' channels rather than influencer channels, and rather than a makeup person using your music. It's interesting that actually the artist channels are creating virality. And one of the things that they said, the TikTok guys said, was that actually DJs playing your record from the front. So you've got a video and you can see the DJ's face. That seemingly is very good for online virality on TikTok. So that's something that we always try and achieve for our clients, is getting those videos on board. So yeah, there's lots of things that DJ promo can help with. Again, those networks there, it's the only genre of music where other people are supporting your music, so yeah, so make the most out of those people that are supporting your music.
Yeah, and I suppose this is like another example that we've done, quite a good example, to be honest, of DJ promotion really helping to break an artist. I don't know if you know LF System. They had the longest running dance record of the decade at #1 for 8 weeks in the UK. We're very proud to have worked with them, and we worked with them.
David Guetta.
Yeah.
That's good.
Tied with Calvin Harris, I think.
Calvin Harris.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. But yeah, worked with them from the very, very start. So I think it's during COVID, the manager was working with them. They weren't doing very much at all. He rang us. He was like, look, I really need to help us get something started. They're playing a little bit. What can we do? And we really focused on doing some self-releases, just focused at DJs. They were only put on SoundCloud, actually. It was all about getting key tastemaker, influential DJs to play their music, so the likes of Scream, Patrick Topping, Ewan McVicker, Gerdie Janssen. All these people started playing the remixes. I think there was 4 EPs, 4 tracks on each, 16 tracks over the course of about 9 months, just really hammering away, getting them to play music out, getting videos in. And that kind of DJ promo forms the basis, the building blocks of a successful dance marketing campaign. You can't really have a successful dance record without people playing it in the clubs. You definitely can't have a successful music career without people playing your music in clubs, without having a fan base that hears it there. And yeah, that kind of set the building blocks for what came next, with Radio Play of Radio 1 getting on board, with their getting more support on Instagram and a little bit before TikTok, and live dates. And that all sort of folded into them getting their major label deal at Warner Music. And then we continued to do that. We still work with them today. We did all the Warner Records stuff. And yeah, Afraid to Feel came around. Again, it was repetitive of what we did before. We made sure the DJs who were playing them as they were coming up, Patrick Topping, Gerdie Janssen, Scream, were playing the records out, got even more videos, and used them as amazing digital marketing tools to really push the record forward. And then yeah, after it kept on going, then eventually TikTok helped drive some stuff forward.
TikTok took over, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very, very important. It really does, as a dance act, it's how you really make yourself known and make a difference.
Yeah, we went to Dublin to see one of our acts, the duo there that we publish actually, called Obscure, and they're signed to FFRR Warner. And yeah, they just said it's the most important thing for them, obviously they're young lads used to the online environment, but for them, getting DJs to play their records is the most important thing that a label could do for them. So they had to actually fight with their product manager to make sure that we were doing their DJ promo for their releases, because they just said it's the most important thing for them. And that's interesting, isn't it? In an era of online and digital, that actually with dance music, it's the real world that actually makes a difference. So yeah, really interesting then. And then, so that's connections via promotion. Connections via an A&R can happen as well. One thing that Tom did for Camerøn was to source a vocal from Lazarusman. And again, that enabled us to then send that demo out to other producers, because we wanted maybe a bigger producer to collaborate with Camerøn on the release. And that looks like that's going to happen. So Cameron's done a great job in the demo, and the vocal's really good. So it's opened up a lot of conversations with bigger producers who now want to collaborate with Camerøn. So again, that's an example of really good connections via good A&R. And of course, once that gets released, which we're looking forward to, the other producer's going to put it on the socials, Lazarus Man's going to put it on the socials, and of course the DSP numbers will come together. It will be in Lazarus Man's fans release radar. So Camerøn's DSP numbers and Spotify monthly listeners will go up. So it's a really important thing to be able to help connect people via A&R as well. What did you learn during that process, and what was the most interesting and useful things during that process for you that we helped with?
Yeah. So hey everyone, so that whole process, I think, like involving everything in terms of the DJ promo, it just speaks as an artist to just send your music out to as many people, because you're gonna feel out which labels are kind of liking it, the people in the labels that are starting to like it, maybe vocalists that are starting to like it. So that was also really important to see that. With the Lazarus Man, it's been with the Lazarus Man record that's going to be coming out. It was the process was so amazing to see that, getting it sent out to so many producers. Some people didn't like it, some people liked it, and that helped us navigate the way on which record label we want to push it onto, or the artist that we want to push it onto. And regardless of those artists, the scene that you want to push it onto. So the festivals, everything in that spectrum of where you want the sound to go is super important. And I think the only way that we've been able to slowly realize where this track is going, if we think Black Coffee may play it, or Kinda Music, or one of these guys are going to play this song, is because we dug into a spectrum of this Afro house and electronic music. But Tom helped me so much, like cut down on those side edges of the track and like really channel it into the right labels and producers that are going to collaborate on it. So yeah, that's been an awesome experience. And then also just going back on the DJ promo that Your Army does, this can be done, self as a producer that's just starting out from your bedroom, is just sending your song to so many people, because even if they listen to it and they're not the biggest fan of it, that you're automatically on their radar already. And that's been awesome to see that, Vintage Culture listening to my songs. I doubt Vintage Culture is going to play out an Afro House song of mine or an Afro electronic song of mine, but I'm on the radar, and that's like been super amazing and important to see.
There are some people playing out the records. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose one thing, because we've done this for a very, very long time, 15 years or so, these artists, like, they trust us to give them music, stuff to their taste. I still speak to Patrick Topping and Gerd Jansen and Ewart Vicker every single week to give them music personally, and we obviously have our systems, how we do wider stuff, but yeah, everything is kind of catered and tailored to DJs to make sure it's the right sound for them to play, and that also allows us, for instance, of course, if we send a Black Coffee release out, it's going to do well. It allows us to send up upcoming, new, exciting artists that they will have never heard of, but we put that right in front of them. They listen to the music, they're invested in it, and that's, as I said, where stuff happens, connections, where maybe you release on the label, or they play it out and you get some good content, or a remix comes along, or eventually maybe it could go to a resident DJ who plays at Watergate and he plays it out a load and he's doing the bookings and you get a booking. I'd say, like, dance music, it all starts from DJs, from the dance floor. Like, it's where it's begun, it's where it's from. So yeah, it's really important.
Yeah. No one's interrupted us.
Yeah, no questions
Time
yet?
for interruptions? Anybody got any questions so far? Not interesting. Okay. Good to know.
Oh,
Feedback.
wait, there's a question.
Oh, hello.
So my question is like to know more about your army. Do you accept also new artists starting from smaller fan base, and what can you provide for them?
Yeah, I mean, LF System didn't have a release out. Yeah, nothing at all. So yeah, you can send, anybody can send us any music, and we listen to it all. A lot of it's rubbish, but we do listen to it all. So yeah, so the good stuff, we will promote it. Yeah, and we always try and help people out with cost if they're right at the beginning. Not too much. I'm Scottish, so let's not get excited. But so yeah, we will very much help people out who, if they're not signed and we love the music, then yeah, of course, yeah. So that yeah.
There's nothing more rewarding than working with new artists. We're here to speak about how to break an artist. Like, yes, we can promote Solomon, we can promote Dixon or whoever. But yeah, it's fun to work with new upcoming artists. And I suppose, yeah, for big level tastemaker DJs, yes, they can receive a new thing from Agori or whatever. But again, they like to support upcoming artists because they like to play music that no one else knows about. We start working records 2 months ahead, 8 weeks ahead. We're sending them, and they want to hear music from artists who they've never heard before. And we're that funnel. They trust us to funnel down music to stuff which they like, good quality stuff. So yeah, we're always looking. We also look out for new artists as well. We actively search for new people. We work bicep, but we want to also work the next bicep. So like we always are on the hunt for new upcoming artists. A&R is a big part of what we do with the company.
Yeah, we go out and look for it as well. So we approach people, as well a lot, just saying we love your music.
If you're good, you might get a discount.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
We've started it now.
Good. Takes the pressure off, doesn't it?
Hi. I have a question regarding, I don't come from a DJ background. I come more from, being a musician, and I play many different instruments. I'm building like a live set, so it's, sometimes what I have difficulty is finding, it's not so practical, let's say, when you're a DJ, because then you can play in clubs and then you already have the structure there.
Yep.
But if you have any tips for someone who's doing like a live electronic act with instruments, and if there's like a specific way or to work out the PR or to get the music promoted, or if there's like some synergies with the DJs, how can that work together in order to be promoted?
Obviously, we don't know what the music sounds like, but if somebody's on a live act, you can see that now in the pop world, people are collaborating amongst, in different scenes. So yeah, again, as we've talked about connections, yeah, okay, you might have a more live, organic sound to your own music, but maybe electronic producers are always on the lookout for people who can play live, so they can add an extra bit of organicness to what they're doing. So yeah, I'd say collaboration works. But then if it's just your own music, then of course promoting it, you don't need to be a DJ to have your music promoted into the same channels, radio and DJs and online. So yeah, it's the same as everything. It's just making sure you're releasing the right records, the best records you can, with the right partner. If you're just at the beginning, then choose the right distributor. That might make a difference. Some of them don't. So yeah, there's lots of things you can do as a live act as well. Of course, you can play as well, which is exciting. So yeah, we do a lot of live acts as well, and it's just about choosing the right records to start with. I think that's really important. So you're looking at, is this going to appeal to the DSP playlists? Is this going to appeal to radio in my territory? Where are the avenues that I can see my music? And it's always good as a promoter to have the artist know that. and go, I know where this can go. I know that that radio station plays this sort of music. I know that that playlist on that Spotify or wherever, Apple do some really good curated plays. I know that it's going to get in there. This is where I'm trying to aim for. So the more that comes from you, the more that you can direct who you're working with, your team, whoever you're working with as a team. I think that's really valuable to have to know as an artist exactly where you want to get to, because then it really helps your team to go, okay, I get it. I'll achieve those things for you. But if you're just going, can you help me? It's actually quite difficult, But yeah, so we really like people who kind of know their music and know where they want to get to, and they just tell us what they want to do, and we try and achieve it for them.
So thank you, first of all, for the interesting insights. So we hear a lot about connections, right? And obviously we all want to get our music played in clubs. But we also know that cold mails always land in spam. It's pretty difficult.
Say that again, sorry?
Cold emails
yes.
always land in spam, right? No one opens that stuff up.
Yeah.
So the question would be, first of all, how do you build connections? And also, when you're a DJ, you're always on the asking side, right? What kind of value can you actually provide to someone that they would want to have a connection with you and play your music?
You mean a DJ who just DJs or a DJ producer?
Both.
Yeah.
I think from an artist side is like just showing love to that if you really are interested in that DJ, comment on their posts, interact with them on a social level. Like as an artist, I do this. Just put yourself on the radar a bit and show them your interest. At the end of the day, they're also people. They're gonna be like, man, thank you for showing me love. I think that goes a long way. And then when you do eventually meet him at the club and stuff, there's already that connection that you don't have to start from the beginning with. He's like, this guy's been commenting on my posts, sharing my videos. He always reacts to my music, puts some of his music in his Spotify playlists. And then I think that connection from an artist to artist perspective means a lot more than you just asking favors in a sense.
Yeah.
I suppose these top tier tastemaker DJs, they were once small upcoming artists. So yeah, as Camerøn said, they're real people. So I think it's just go meet them, try connect with them. I think also DJs are selectors. They're trying to find new unreleased music. So again, they will want to be listening to new upcoming records, unknown stuff. You do sometimes might hit a cold inbox. That's kind of why we've built these relationships. We're able to speak to them, but there's ways around that. I think it's and know what part, what scene you're trying to be a part of. Obviously, as an artist, you still want to be an individual, but know where your music fits. Don't be chasing down an artist and not even know what the label's releasing or the music they are and sending them stuff which doesn't suit. Know why you're getting in contact with them, reference things they've done on the label. I love that last release from that artist. I saw you play here. Understand what you're trying to do. People have a lot of people reaching out and speaking to them, so make that personal connection.
Yeah. Just knowledge of what they do it makes it less cold. So if you can show knowledge of what they've done previously and put that in your first email, then at least they know you've thought about it a little bit rather than just cold calling. But a very good example of what Camerøn was talking about is we publish a producer who releases really good music and does okay. But then they did a collaboration with another producer who's very active on this kind of connection stuff that Camerøn was talking about. So this other producer, this release has become his most successful release because the other producer was commenting on all the people that were supporting the release. They were commenting on their socials, they were thanking them real life, they were going to their gigs and thanking them. If somebody played it on radio, they would go and literally find them and thank them. And he was like, why is this release doing better than all my other ones? Well, because somebody else is doing that kind of work on it. So that's a very good example, yeah.
Thank you.
There was one.
Hello. I would want to know, how do you make money as an agency? How do you contract the artist? Is it upfront fee? Is it royalties? What is it?
Royalties, that's a good idea. No, unfortunately not. No, it's a one-off fee. It's always one-off fees. Yeah, nothing else. Yeah.
For independent artists as well, we're flexible. Like I say, we work.
Not too flexible.
Yeah. He doesn't know. We want to work the best music out there. We're renowned for working the best of the best, as say people like Bicep, the Chemical Brothers, Bonobo, JJG, and also we need to then work the best upcoming new acts. So yeah, we go out, we find good music, and yeah, it's a fee, but yeah, we want to make sure we're working. We're passionate about music, like it's why we're in it. So yeah, we're looking out for that stuff.
I think it's really important that you build that trust in the first couple of weeks. So, we're always letting you know we've sent it out. These are the people we're trying to get. Is there anybody else that you think we should be getting? This is when the report's going to land. So yeah, I think that communication is really important. So if you're employing someone and they don't communicate with you like that, then it's a red flag, I think.
Get out quick.
Yeah, because you're just another number. Any other? Yeah.
Could you talk us a little, or give us a bit more detail on your research process, or maybe looking for a bit of advice on this? I've started a new collaboration project with a friend who's just there, and I guess the music we've put together doesn't sit in either of our natural wheelhouses in terms of the scene we know, the connections we've got, and we're a little bit lost on how and where we should be pitching it. So what kind of process do you guys go through to advise an artist on this?
I suppose it's hard to say exactly without hearing it, but yeah, you obviously know what the sound is and where it fits, unless you've created a brand new genre. And yeah, look for other artists in that scene, similar tracks, similar veins. Look where they're playing, who's on the lineups with them. Maybe find labels which they're releasing on. Like deep dive into where that music is. For instance, like if you make melodic techno and then all of a sudden you're making a Afro house track, yeah, you should be research. You should know where that fits. You should know the labels which are releasing stuff. Be that look through Beatport, see what the top labels are. Find some artists you're passionate about as well. You shouldn't really be, if you're making music in a certain sound, you want to be, it's not going to work if you're not passionate about that sound. There's no point making music if you're not passionate about it. So you research that sound, find labels that you like, artists that you like. If you don't know much about that sound, yeah, research it, become a fan of it. Yeah, see where they're releasing. When you do that, you'll be able to figure out where does this fit.
Yeah, but it becomes quite second nature for us. If we hear a record, we know that, as I said previously, if we get sent a record that we think only 20 people in the world are going to play, it might be a very good record for that genre, but it's not really interesting for a promotions company to, just send it to a few people. So we tend to hear a record and go, I can hear that DJ playing, I can hear that DJ, or I can hear that radio station playing at that radio station. So it's quite quickly for us when we're listening to something go yes or no, because it's really easy to kind of, because we know our targets and where what radio stations make a difference, which ones don't, which DJs make a difference, which ones don't. So yeah, it's quite a quick no from us sometimes, because it's just that we know those channels, and if the music's not going to be appealing to those channels, then we can't help. Maybe somebody else will be better at doing it. But yeah, yeah, I think get to know it yourself, and then if you send it to somebody like us, then hopefully they'll know quite immediately if it's going to work for them or not in terms of promotion. We're on to the next exciting bit of the presentation, which is the Camerøn quiz.
Yeah.
The Camerøn quiz. Has he learned anything? Has he? Let's find out. It's going to be exciting.
Oh, no.
And you know what? This is going to be good. And he's going to be playing for a big prize. A big prize. It's going to be a big prize. We're going to extend his mentorship for 3 months. To finish these fucking records off, right? It's going to be exciting. It's a big prizes. Wait for so. Let's go. We asked 100 industry music professionals, what is the most important key thing you need to do when sending to a label? And Camerøn has to work out what's the most popular answer. Is this good? Is this easy to understand? It's a concept, but I think it's quite a well-known concept. Okay, so is it know the sound of the label? Dun, 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 dun. B, keep your demo playlist concise. Is it C, ensure demos are labeled properly? Even label it for the label. Label it for the label. That's not the right, anyway. D, engage with the artists already on the label. Meet them, engage with them. What do you think?
Probably all of the above, but I would go with D.
It is D! It's exciting stuff, isn't it? I knew this was going to work.
I would say that, when people say, I want to release on Innovisions, for instance, it's all good and well sending music to Arm & Dixon, but yeah, make sure you're getting Tal Fussman playing your music out, Scala, Jimmy Jules, there's loads of artists on that label. If they're playing the music out, then the people who run the label, they will hear them playing out. They'll be talking about it. It's not just the artist-led labels, it's not just the artists who run it you need to be trying to interact with, it's the whole label base. Kind of music, make sure Resnick's playing it, for instance, rather than just me and Ramper. You really focus on that.
There's work to do, I see. Now, Second question, are you ready? Are you braced?
Ready.
Ready.
Let's do it.
The most essential things to do pre-release, so before a release. Build a fan base, mailing list, emails, that kind of stuff. B, prepare content for your social channels. I'm sure that's not how you spell channels. Is there two N's in channel?
Typed it.
Oh, okay. C, get the release to VIP DJs. Well, we've talked about that. D, ensure the label have registered the release for the neighbouring rights. That's a specific thing, isn't it? Anyway, what do you reckon?
I think definitely the most important thing we've talked about from today, for sure, A.
Fan-based mailing list. Oh, he's learned something.
So again, we were with a manager yesterday actually, and yeah, they direct a lot of their sales to Bandcamp just because you get emails from that, and they've built some amazing email lists, and they're doing a newsletter the day before release and getting tons of pre-saves.
They were saying like 2-3 weeks before release, they send their sort of super fans an email saying, look, this is the pre-order link, and they also have pre-order links for a merch and the pre-order link, so they really sort of super serve their super fans, and so that, yeah, so 3 weeks up before release they send an email, 2 weeks up before release they send an email, a week before release they send an email, and then the release date they send an email. And then if you're getting like 2,000 people listening to your release on Spotify on week 1, then even if Spotify haven't playlisted it in their curated playlists, it's more likely that they'll look at it again in 2 weeks' time, because it's a 2-week thing they do. So in 2 weeks' time, they might look at it and go, actually, this is getting really good data. We will put it in some of our editorial playlists. So I think there's lots of people who go, how do we get into playlists? Well, don't just rely on luck or rely on your distributor. Do something yourself. Build direct fan mailing lists. It's still really important. I know emails seem like an antiquated thing, but it's really important. It's the only way that you can actually control your own fan data. So it's a really important thing, and people are getting really amazing results in sales and in merch and all sorts.
We were speaking last night. Obviously, yes, you can do digital spend on Instagram, on TikTok, but you can target as much as you want, but I mean, it's not going to hit exact people who listen to your music. Like if you've got a mailing list of people who have bought your music before, they are fully engaged fans. If you can hit them with a newsletter at the right time, they will engage again, and that will drive stuff forward.
More excitement. Is he going to win? Is Camerøn going to win? What do you think? Last question.
Tender hooks, not for sure.
Tension.
The most essential things to do after release. Woohoo! Is there DJ support that can lead to another Tastemaker label release? Is there B, any other positive or negative feedback that can influence new music? C, keep releasing. Or D, keep active on socials. Ooh. It's tricky. This is the big one.
I'll have to go with A.
Again.
We've done it.
It's as if we told him the answers before we got on stage. That's amazing. Well, that's great. So Cameron's a winner. I mean, he's a winner in life. He's a winner of a mentorship. He's a winner of the quiz. Just generally a winner.
And I also want to say a big thank you to you guys, Tom and James. It's been awesome. Just learning so much as well at the same time. And this constant connection of feeding the music into the right scenes, which they explained today. I think you don't have to always have the biggest or best agency to do this as an artist, but it's been super insightful to learn that stuff from you guys, and anyone can really do it. Like, just capture a scene and dig into those artists, support them, show love to them, they'll show love back to you. Eventually they're gonna like start noticing you, you know?
Yeah, love it. Any other questions before we go? We wanted to keep it on time. You know, the other people weren't bothered about time, but we wanted to keep it on time.
I have a question concerning if you're looking for a promotion agency like yours, but it's not a fit. You are not a fit. My music doesn't. I get tons of ads in my Instagram feed, and it's so much. And are there any red flags or something that you say?
Fact that they're advertising.
Exactly, but how if
so
you don't know them?
You get ads for what? You get ads for promote.
Ads for all kinds of music promotion.
Oh right.
So much.
We're missing a trick.
Yeah, but of course it all looks kind of cheap and not really serious.
Is it like stuff like Beat the Spotify, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, and I got like 100,000 streams in my first week. Look at what I did, and go to this link.
It's usually the streaming thing, isn't it?
Yes, of course, but also all kinds of promotion, music promotion.
Yeah.
How can you, if you don't know people, if you don't get to know them on a panel like now?
What I generally would advise is, look at that promotion company's website, and are they promoting any music that A, you like, and B, is successful, right? So, we always recommend that you, and a lot of promotions companies have been around a while, have a kind of roster, but it's stuff that they worked 15, 20 years ago. So just currently, are they working stuff? So yeah, if they're keeping their socials up to date, they'll tell you what they've been working recently. So yeah, our socials are very up to date with, we did this last week, and so
we had a hottest record last week, or this video of someone playing a record out, like there's constant proof and stuff.
Yeah, if there's other outside of the advert, if there's proof of what they're doing, then and then of course if they are promoting something from a label like that, you could reach out to that label and say how did you find that? Was it worthwhile? If people don't mind sharing that kind of information, usually I find.
All right. And is there a ceiling to how much you would recommend to pay for one track?
I think a good agency. We turn down a lot of music. One, because we can only work good music because we're renowned for that, so we can't send bad music to radio. We can't send bad music to DJs because we wouldn't be able to do it anymore. Two, a good promotions agency shouldn't take on work from an independent artist they know is going to do bad. Like I would, if I know they haven't got loads of money, I know the record's not going to do very well either, I'll just turn it down because it's not beneficial for me, not beneficial to work the music, it's not going to do well, it's not beneficial for them. I'll tell them, come back when you have the next
He's
record.
asking you for a number. How much money?
How much money?
He's asking you for a number.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's difficult. It depends what they're doing, of course. So I don't know about digital agencies. We don't have a digital agency yet. But yeah, I mean, for an independent, we work, depends on the scope of the work. So if we're just doing DJ promotion, for example, it's, I don't know, we could do it for about £500 or something for a smaller artist. But yeah. And that's just DJ. So there's other things we do as well. But yeah, that's kind of a reasonable enough fee.
For the whole package, how much?
Whole package. Well, again, we're always really honest.
Send an email to contact@yourhackon.com.
We're always really honest with people because if it only is going to be suitable for DJ promotion, we say don't waste your money on radio promotion because we have a dedicated radio pluggers that So if it's not going to be suitable, we'll say look, don't waste your. In fact, we do it with quite big artists. So we say not that one. Wait until there's another one. So yeah, we're always really honest because we don't want to just take money and not do anything. So yeah, we tend to. If it was for example, to answer your question, we would do if it's an independent dance record that we thought was good, then we'd advise to do DJ promotion, we do European wide. We'd advise, we've got an international radio service that we would advise people to do. So yeah, if you're from Germany, then we can hit German stations and Benelux and lots of places. So we'd advise that as well. I think that's a good, and then if we think it's got potential at radio, then, a plugger in your home territory. So those three things. That's traditional media, of course. There's other media as well.
So that would be around 1,500.
No. More, yeah.
Okay, and how can you tell if they rip you off?
If somebody rips you off, again, I would say that coming back to communication. I mean, not every record goes well. You might think it might, but it doesn't. So as long as the agency are communicating to you and saying, we've got a reaction from the radio guy that you really wanted to play it on radio, and he said this, then they've done their job. They didn't play it, but they've got the reaction, they've got it in front of them, they've listened to it, and then you can't do anything about how they look at a record or listen to a record. So as long as people are getting you reactions, as long as you can ring them and say, look, I'm thinking it should have been played by this person by now, what are they saying? And they come back to you with the reaction, then they're doing their job. If they're not, if they're just sending you a report and hoping for the best, then they're not doing their job. Thank you. Anything for anybody else? No? Okay, good. All right, thanks very much for listening. Have a good rest one.